I wake up in the morning to hear the sizzle of frying food in the kitchen. As usual, I see my mom busily waking up my sister. I go to the kitchen to find my dad slicing up some vegetables and pouring them into the egg, getting ready to start making omelet. After everything is set on the table, all four of us finally come together and hold our hands to pray. Then, we dig into our homemade breakfast. But it doesn't take about 2 seconds for someone to start the conversation. We all take turns in talking, and we bring up a lot of things to discuss. My older sister talks about her hectic high school life. My mom talks about her work. My dad gives us advice on life lessons. And I talk about what I want to do in the future. On every Saturday morning, with our big omelet divided into 4 pieces, we all come together to talk about our hard and happy times as we take a big bite of delicious omelet. This omelet moment provides a special asylum to my family. It provides every one of us to feel greatly secured and comforted. By having conversations from light to heavy topics, every one of us gets involved in communicating, listening, giving wholehearted advice, and reminding one another that we will always be there for each other. This special family time provided by Omelet helps us realize how much we are loved, cherished, and valued by each other. Actually, it has only been 2 years since we created this special Omelet moment. It all started when we came to Korea to live. Before, my family had lived in Singapore for more than 8.5 years, which is more than half of my life. Having spent so many years abroad, my family faced numerous challenges here in Korea, as each of us struggled with different lifestyles, different education, and different everything. As for me, I had to start all over by making new friends. And because I lived in Singapore for such a long time, my Korean wasn't that strong. This made it extremely difficult for me to catch up in school classes, which were all conducted in Korean. Well, except for the English class. Everything that teacher said came in one ear, but out the other. This language barrier came as a huge stress every day, as I felt that everyone was ahead of me, all leaving me behind. This distress eventually culminated into a serious homesickness, as I felt that Korea wasn't my home. I demanded my parents that I should be going back to Singapore. I argued that I don't belong here and that I didn't feel Korean enough. On every Saturday morning, I gathered to share this problem of mine over eating a piece of ramen. Every time I brought up the subject, everyone listened, held my hands, and instilled bravery within me that I can overcome the situation. This regular gathering naturally became the omelet moment, when everyone would come to share his or her problems. And this moment has become a weekly family culture that my family treasures, even today. However, I discovered that there aren't that many families that spend time with each other. Majority of families today don't even see each other's faces as they're busy working and attending academies. Even if they do have the time, they're too busy looking into their phones without having deep and thorough conversations. But time is irreversible. Once time is passed, it never comes back. And that is exactly the reason why we should try to create family moments as much as possible. When I say family moments, I am not talking about grandiose things that you have to do together. Just one simple hour, consisted of all family members talking about one's lives, can provide warm memories that will tighten the family bond and love. And such warm memories will act as a vitamin that will boost your confidence, self-worthiness, as well as happiness, that holds the power to help you overcome any difficulties that you may have in your life. How am I so sure? Because I personally experienced it. Due to this omelet moment, my family was able to adjust into a new environment, encouraging each other that we can do it. Because of this, omelet isn't just omelet to me. It has become my favorite food at all times, as it has a special value to it. To me, omelet symbolizes my family, who will always be there for me during happy, sad, and difficult moments in my life. This is probably why my family's homemade omelet tastes so delicious. It's so different from any other dishes. It has a secret ingredient inside, which is family love. So today, I would like to suggest everyone here to go find your own omelet moment. Trivial things like a single piece of food can act as a great treasure, just as I've showed you today. It doesn't have to be an omelet, like in my case. You can create your very own ice cream moment or chicken moment based on your preference. But whatever your choice may be, just remember one thing. Family moments cannot be bought, nor can they be stolen. So treasure your moments with your most beloved ones before it becomes too late. For now, as my speech has come to an end, I will wait for my favorite food, omelet, on Saturday to once again have my special family time to discuss this precious time with all of you today. Thank you.
So this is the end of Hong Tae-young's speech. Judges can ask some questions to the speaker.
What are some of the cultural differences between Singapore and Korea? And tell us about some of these cultural experiences that you've had and how they make you feel.
Living in Singapore, I think that I got a lot accustomed to the Southeast Asian part of Asia. And being there, I kind of fit in and I really liked it there. And the cultural differences would be definitely one, weather, two, schools, and three, friends. Coming to Singapore, coming to Korea, I think that something that was very different was there was 4 seasons, unlike Singapore, which only has summer. And the schools, they were very planned out, and besides the Singapore schools were very free and allowed you to do whatever you want. And the last thing was friends. I think that Korea showed me that friends need to bond together in order to survive.
Judges may have 1